People came in to pick me to go to their funeral and cry for them.
Hi go-getters, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be exploring the world of the weird, the wonderful, and the downright unusual. Now, believe me that when I talk of weird, I really mean weird. But the good news is that though these business ideas could be so weird, they are at the same time so lucrative. So as you must have guessed, today I will be walking you through 14 weird but legit businesses that you could make money in Africa with. So get ready for some laughs, some astonishments, and probably some, oh yeah, I can probably do that, or oh no, I just can't do that. And here you go, getter, I would advise you watch this video within the lines because I've got a huge bonus for you somewhere in between that you don't want to miss. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. Now, since we are in the African context, let's start with something pretty unique, right? Have you ever thought of making money from your tears? Yes, those tears that you constantly waste when you are disappointed by some guy somewhere, or that you constantly shed when you are faced with certain difficulties or painful moments in your life. Yes, do you know that you could actually make some good money from those tears and not waste them anymore? Now, let me take you through this interesting story. So, my friend Carol once attended a funeral in Ghana, and she reported to me that there came this woman who cried so convincingly that everyone thought she was obviously a family member. She cried so much that she aroused my friend's sympathy, and when she went closer to the woman, she was astonished to find the woman instead remove a red card and give her. And in total confusion, she was just trying to figure out what's happening. So on the red card, she actually noticed that the woman was a professional crier, and on the red card she actually clearly stated what degree of cry she could perform for each amount. So there were amounts for simple crying like any other person, and there were different amounts for crying and rolling on the floor, and there were also different amounts for crying and being unstoppable. That is, you cry, and when people try to console you, you just can't stop crying, and you even cry more. And the most lucrative part of it is that aside from the red card, she would charge according to the client per se. That is, if the person is a wealthier person, she would charge higher for her services. And the trick is, she would even charge you on the spot after having assessed you and knowing how much you need her services. So it is a whole very lucrative business. Now, you might be wondering that who are those who could actually pay for such services? There are a lot of people out there who need such services, all right? Let me take an example. Do you know that there are actually certain people to some degree disconnected from their friends and even family members? So when they lose loved ones, at times they don't really have people to condone enough with them or mourn with them, and they've got the money, so they are ready to pay for professional mourners or criers. And also, there are some people in society who are actually living what we call a solitary life. They basically have no friends, are living in a world of their own. They've really got difficulty relating with people in society. So such people will also pay for these services. So this business has actually gained popularity in countries like Ghana, Kenya, and Nigeria. So if you are in any of those countries, this is some business that you could join and make good money for yourself. But if you are in any other country like maybe Cameroon, you could as well be the first to start this business, all right? So this is something that was so funny when she was telling me about it. But now thinking of it from the business perspective, this is a very lucrative business that you could actually use your tears to make good money from if you can easily produce tears. So if you are one of those people who've got easy tears and who can actually dramatize things, cry for Africa, like we say, this is some business that you should consider, all right? Now, the second weird but very legit business in Africa is the bridesmaid or best girl for rent. Now, the way I got to know about this business was actually from my cousin who had a friend's wedding to attend in Zanzibar. Now, her friend was faced with the difficulty of not really having enough money to fly her bridesmaids to Zanzibar. The resort where she was supposed to do the wedding actually proposed to offer bridesmaids for her in exchange for a token. Now, comparing the money she was supposed to maybe spend to fly her bridesmaid to Zanzibar and the price they were offering her to get 6 bridesmaids for her was actually far much more better. Now, these bridesmaids not only fit well into their roles, but they equally managed all the wedding chaos perfectly, and it was seamless. Now, this is what a lot of people do, and you won't even know, because if you aren't close to them, you aren't going to know that those bridesmaids you are seeing are not actually their friends or family members. Now, in her situation, she didn't just have the money to fly her bridesmaid to her wedding destination. But do you know that there are certain people who need bridesmaids because they don't actually have friends? There are people who've got trust issues with friends. You know, a lot of people get disappointed with friendships nowadays, and they will most times isolate themselves from friends. Now, those people also, when they want to wed, they need bridesmaids, and they would rather pay for such services than actually have people that they can trust around them on their wedding days. Now, the most amazing part also of this business is the fact that those bridesmaids are professionally trained to make your day memorable. They've got the perfect poses for your pictures and are well trained to portray the exact emotions you would want them to portray on your wedding. And hey, go-getters, this business is very, very lucrative. It is quite popular already in countries like Zanzibar, South Africa, and even Nigeria, and they aren't cheap. So if you're a young, beautiful, and smart girl out there who knows how to pose for beautiful pictures, who knows how to dance and make a party merry, this business is definitely for you. Now, go-getters, the next weird but very profitable business and legit business that I am going to be talking about here is a business in which you are actually helping others and at the same time making good money for yourself. Do you know, go-getters, that there are actually some people out there, like a couple who are very happy together, who make good money together, but unfortunately they can't procreate? Do you know that if you are a woman and you are fertile and disease free, you can actually bring joy to that couple and make good money? Now, if you guessed it right, I am talking here of surrogacy. This is actually a life-changing business, both emotionally and financially. For you're going to be making good money and at the same time blessing a family with the gift of life. Now, look at it this way, go-getter. Remember on the channel, for instance, we talk about businesses that we could start in Africa, production businesses and all the like. You are interested in such businesses, but maybe you don't have the money to do that. Do you know that you could consider surrogacy as a woman, alright? This is something that you mustn't do all your life. You could do it once or twice and get the money you need to start a real business of your own and grow it. Imagine maybe being paid $80,000. Let's just even take $50,000 for procreation. You can actually become financially independent from bearing babies for others. I know this is a journey that could be very challenging and filled with emotions. For as a mom, I know how it could feel to actually bear a baby for 9 months and give it away at birth. But then, this is something that if you are capable of doing, you could make a lot of money for yourself. There's this company, Hope Surrogacy, for instance, that pays up to $80,000 just for you to give birth to someone's child. So like I said, if you are very fertile and disease-free and you've got that courage, this is some business that you might consider if you are actually in need of money. Now, that leads us to the next weird but legit and very lucrative business on our list, which is somehow connected to the previous one but less challenging. Now, this has to do with the selling of your breast milk. Yeah. Now, who would have thought that being a mom could actually be a lucrative business? For not only you are bearing your own child, but at the same time you are making money off the excess breast milk that you produce. Now, there are 2 ways of making money in this business sector. You could be a mom, you have your baby, and your breast actually produce more milk than your baby can consume. You could sell the rest to those companies that actually buy breast milk and resell. Now, another way to go about it, even if you don't produce a lot of breast milk and you need that money, there are certain things that you could eat to produce a lot of breast milk and resell some. For instance, you could consume a lot of oats, that is oat smoothies, and that will enable you actually produce more breast milk that you could resell and make some good money and use it to take better care of your baby if you are in need of money. Now, there are websites like breast.com that you could go to and actually sell your breast milk if you've got access to them. Now, that leads us to the next analysis, which is the sperm donation business. Yes, goal getter, you heard me right. Do you know that you could actually become a sperm donor? Yeah. So if you are that person who needs money and you don't want to do something that is bad, you want to earn your money in a legit way, though a little bit weird, this business is very, very lucrative. With this business, you could earn $5 to $10 per egg donation cycle. And that's actually something that costs you nothing, right? If you are used to doing the do, you constantly throw sperm every day. So this is something that you might as well use and make some good money that will help your life, right? Now, examples of such websites are cryobank.com and many others. Now, talking about this, if you've watched this video till this level, you deserve to have our bonus. And I am giving the bonus here because I've talked about the surrogacy business, the breast milk business, and this sperm donor business. These are businesses that really aren't popular yet in Africa. And in some countries, they are completely non-existent. So if you are that smart goal getter watching this video, here are golden business opportunities that I am putting into your hands, all right? If you are smart, you know what to do. You could actually start some of these businesses in your country. And believe me, nowadays, a lot of people would actually abide to these ideas. Do you know the amount of African couples that are really suffering with the issue of not being capable of having a baby? These are things that you could actually solve with these businesses. You know, as an entrepreneur who is smart, you need to look for a problem and solve in order to make money. There are these problems that are plaguing Africa already. There are a lot of unproductive couples out there for one reason or another. So this business is actually something that will do well in Africa right now. So the ball is in your court. All I can do is give you the business ideas, and it is up to you to seize the opportunities or not. Now, goal getter, this one is actually one of, if not the most weird on the list. Now, I know this might be pretty shocking, for I was shocked myself to find this article where this guy states that he makes about $500 a month from selling his poop. Yeah, you got me right. Do you know that that thing that you go and do in your toilet and flush could actually make you money? Yeah, if you didn't know, you can actually sell your poop for things like medical research and some surgical procedures. At times, let's try to demystify things. Let's not see the devil everywhere, all right? This poop donation is actually also necessary to save some lives out there. Some people buy your poop to use for fecal medical transplant procedures. Some people actually need that transplant done to help their gut health. So not everything should be looked upon mysteriously, all right? This guy, for instance, stated that he makes his school $500 every month just from donating his poop to the Human Micro Company. And he says they use that for research. Now, there are other websites like Poop with Purpose and Good Nature that will even pay about $1,500 per month for your poop. I know this business might seem so crappy, but it actually pays the bills. There are even certain companies that will even pay up to $13,000 a year upfront for you to just supply your poop to them whenever needed or as agreed. I know, being in an African context, you could be thinking of some other things. We know ourselves, right? Yeah, we always think of village people, we always think of rituals or fetishes, but hey, this is for people who can think objectively. This is for people who can understand that in life, you can at times take risk. So if you are a risk bearer and you need money, this is something that you could actually try. In countries like South Africa, there are companies that do that already. But like I said earlier, you could actually also be the first to start such businesses in your own own area. Now, enough of the sugarcoating. The idea is poop and make money. Now, the next business on our list is some kind of weird per se, but at the same time, it's some business that doesn't make sense, but makes sense to some people to an extent. Yes, this has simply to do with the selling of pictures of your feet. There are some people, for some reason unknown to me, who would love to have pictures of beautiful feet. You can sell pictures of your feet if you know that your feet are actually beautiful and make good money from it. There are websites for that you could search and make good money for yourself. With a website like Fun with Feet, you can make $400 to $500 a month with the picture of your feet uploaded on there. You are used to putting pictures of you on social media, right? At times, you would maybe photograph your fingers, your legs, and put on social media for free. That's the same thing you could as well do on websites and make money. Now, the next on our list is being an empathic listener. Yes, if you didn't know, this is actually a business. Yes, this is some business that is quite popular in the US already. But this is something that you might as well do in Africa. For there are people who are actually lonely. They need to talk to someone. They need someone to listen to them. And also, like I told you earlier on, a lot of people have trust issues when it comes to friendships or family members. And at times, they have a problem that is choking them, or they have a problem that is even bringing suicidal ideas. They need someone to talk to. And at times, they can confide in a friend or a family member because they want to keep it secret. But now, if they have access to someone they don't know, someone with whom they've got no strings attached, they feel free opening up. They feel free airing everything out. And you know, it is actually very therapeutic to know that you've shared your burden with someone. It gives some sort of relief that actually helps the individual. Now, with this business, all you need to do is be a good listener. You don't need any certificate for it. You don't need any expertise for it. For the client in question, doesn't need any contribution from you. They don't need any advice from you. They don't need any counseling from you. All they need is for you to listen to them. So that is the whole idea behind this business, is that you are actually offering a therapeutic session to that client without necessarily being a therapist, because your listening ear is all they need to heal. So if you are worried that you don't maybe want your identity to be out there, worry not, for there's no exchange of private numbers, all right? Everything is done online. You could get a free Google number and do the Google Meet with that person, and everything ends there. No exchange of numbers, no exchange of names. Everything is done anonymously. So this is some business that people are cashing out big with on Fiverr, and they could charge up to $60 an hour just to listen to people. So if you've got the patience that you can just sit and listen to someone speak, and you're actually a good empathetic person, this is definitely something that you must try. So let me know in the comment section if you are ready to do something like this during your spare time and cash out. Now, the next business is similar to the previous one, but this one is more of physical. So we are talking here of rent a friend business. This is something that is quite popular already, and even in African countries, all right? There are actually websites and agencies where you could rent a friend. Let's say you are new to a country for touristic reasons or whatsoever, or maybe for work or leisure, whatsoever reason, you can rent a friend, maybe to keep you companionship, to listen to you, to show you around, to actually act as your tour guide. You could do that. You are maybe for some reason feeling lonely, you can rent a friend. You want to attend an event and you don't want to get bored sitting alone, you can rent a friend. And these are people who are professionally trained to actually do the work accordingly. Now, you could rent as many friends as you want, all right, provided you've got the money. The idea behind all this is to just create more connections and also spread good vibe around you, just to make sure that you feel good and have people to marry around with. That's basically all. So goal getter, if you know that you are that person who is good at making others feel good, making others laugh, making others smile, good at entertaining, basically, this business is for you. Now, knowing how good a friend I am, this is some business that I could definitely do without difficulty and make some good money for myself. Now, the next on our list is also something I would do perfectly if I were to be that person who would need that money. This is also because it has to do with babies or children, and I love children. So this has to do with virtual caregiver or babysitter services. This is a business that has been gaining grounds recently, and because the need is there. And in Africa right now, it is something that is highly needed. You know now, unlike before, where women used to sit at home and just take care of their kids, now women do work. So there are parents who actually need someone to keep their kids busy, help their kids with their homework, and help educate their kids also for them, even socio-culturally, and they are ready to pay for such services. So like I said, it's been done virtually. You don't necessarily need to be there, all right? You can do that virtually. You just need to keep company to that child, be capable of entertaining that child, and maybe help them do their homework and all they like, and you cash out at the end of the day. Imagine being paid about $30 an hour just to spend time with a kid. So if you're a kid lover, this is something you could actually do effortlessly. Now we'll get to another weird but legit way of making money that is also to me very effortless and is something that I would gladly do, is to sleep and get paid. Yes, you can actually sleep and make money from your sleep. And like I said, it's effortless because this is something that we do every day. So why not make money from your sleep that is something naturally given to you by God? Now, there are two main reasons why some companies would pay you to sleep for them. Now, you can be paid to be evaluated for sleep studies. That is, they are working on a case study to know how maybe a certain product reacts when it comes in contact with the human body. Let's take, for instance, coffee. They want to know the reaction of coffee over a human being's sleep. They will ask you, for instance, to take coffee maybe 30 minutes before going to sleep and observe you throughout the night to see how it affects your sleep. So it could be anything. You could actually consume anything on request and sleep while they monitor you and see how that thing impacts your sleep. That's the whole idea behind this business. Now, some companies could also pay you to review a sleeping product. It could be maybe a sleeping mask, a sleeping cap, or a sleeping pillow. So they will pay you and monitor your sleep throughout the night to get a credible review on their product. Now, there are some companies that will pay you about $1,500 for 30 minutes nap for 30 days. So imagine making $1,500 from just napping 30 minutes every day for just a month. Isn't that something that you would love to try? I personally would love to try such a thing if I need the money. So if you're interested, one of the most popular websites for this is actually Sleep Junkie. You could go to Sleep Junkie and offer to actually provide these services for them. Now, next on we are going to be talking about happy birthday videos. Do you know that there are people who make money just from singing funny happy birthday videos to people and selling online? Yes, this is quite popular on Fiverr, and people charge about $20 for a very short video wherein they just sing a beautiful, funny happy birthday video and just entertain you with some funny dance moves, and that's how they make their money. So if you are someone who is funny enough and creative, this is some business that you would love to try. Now, go getter, last but not the least, and this is something that to me is just unthinkable, but that does exist and that is very lucrative, is to be a snake milker. This simply has to do with extracting venom from snakes for medical and research purposes. And that is it. This is something that is very risky to do, but very, very lucrative. You know, snake venoms for some reason are so expensive, for it isn't easy to harvest. A snake milker will earn about $39,000 per year. So if you are someone who could take that risk, this is something you might want to try. But like I said, I am just here to give you the ideas, all right? At this stage, I believe I have walked you through a couple of weird, legit hustles that you could start today. So don't hesitate to let me know what you think about this, and let me know if you are willing to try some of these side hustles for some money. That said, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.
gonna let you go, gonna let you turn and walk away. I know how this goes.